Okay, good day, and it's that time because you all are waiting for your lunch. But I will not take much of the time because I'm talking about a little bit related to food. Good time to explain food crops. Fruit. Actually, this is not much about the regarding conservation, but the importance of food crops. I am talking about underutilized food crops, and especially concerned the system because I studied system morphological factors, especially I consider that. But I don't take much time. Just continue my presentation. Actually, the world is increasing the population day by day at the rate of 4.1%. It is now reached around 7 billion people. Within another 30 years, it is come to 10 billion. Now the world is facing serious problem for feeding this population. The matter is that not that things, but the change in climate and other factors. I shows that the side that increasing temperature is one thing that shows that change in environment and climate change. That seriously affect the food crops. And that case that the World Health Organization and United Nations identified that it is not enough to depend on the prevailing handful of food crops. Therefore, we have to think about the other food crops like alternative food sources. Therefore, it is important to study these crops, especially underutilized fruit crops. In Sri Lanka, when it concerns Sri Lanka, it is as a tropical country. We are blessed with a wide range of climate conditions and it's helpful to have a wide range of food crop and vegetation. And we have ample amount of fruit crops around country, around 250. We know about those things? No. Only 50 species are still used as food crops. What happened to others? Those are diminishing day by day. Without conservation of those things, they will diminish quickly. Then it is not good for our future. Future is facing problems, especially finding food. Without, though we are concerned today also we are facing those problems. At that time, but in the case of the climate change, environmental changes, we have to think about alternative sources. At that time, that these underutilized foods have high potentials, but nowadays have problem with those crops because people don't know much about those crops, mainly due to poor shelf lives and unacceptable characters and small size fruits and big size seed. Therefore, market is not acceptable. Those things happening. Therefore, those always day by day tend to diminish. Therefore, but because of the warning by United Nations, we have to think about the diminishing and eroding genetic setup of the underutilized fruits. This graph, one of the studies, is not my one, but it shows that how that people right, okay. This shows that how people, this survey is done, how people are aware about this, how extent that people use that underutilized food crops. It shows that daily consumption is very, very rare, but never use is very high, like Mardan and what's called egg fruits and also Himbutu, like plant. People have never touched those things. But those are very good food crops, but need high improvement. In my study, I try to understand that the morphological variation of one crop that shows that we have to study these things. Without studying more variations, we can't go ahead of this plant. Okay. Actually, UN FAO is predicted that within 2015, our genetic food crops, especially food crops, diminish up to 1/3 of food crops will diminish from the world. Maybe you can't find it if you're not concerned much. Therefore, I think we have to concern about those unutilized, less attention, less prioritized food crops for future use, without allowing us to in the danger. Here I show some for your information, few unutilized food crops, maybe unutilized, unknown food crops. People have idea what are those. Actually, first one I think that what's called this. Maybe you have seen not consumed. This one actually it's I think if you're in dry zone area, it's a vegan. It's a good food crop, but you know it is one of the tree. Can we cultivate trees as a food crops in everywhere? No, that's a problem. We have to think about how to improve those things to utilize, and how to utilize those, the way of utilizing. Actually, these photographs just I get from the internet. I can't mention this post, but this one is very well known. It's well known, but it is also underutilized. Similar manner, every fruit crop have different good characters of medicinal values. The medicinal characters are there. Those things we can improve to more use for the medicinal purposes. If you take the caricola, this is actually underutilized, but people have eaten as a star fruit. Okay, it is also good for the by diabetic purpose, diabetes, cure the diabetes, and also some. If you eat too much, it is problem for kidney. It has to. Therefore, we have to limit it. Okay? Therefore, we have to consider. We have to study those things. We need research. We need a different experiment on those food crops, but less attention. Less attention. And also, I think dual is considered underutilized, but I have seen many times that dual in the jam. So such amount of jam can produce such a dual available in the country. I don't know. Maybe problem with the food products. Anyway, like that here, I don't want to take much time of discussing these things, but this one, I think Manika had said that palu. So palu is one of the tree we know that the dry zone areas. We are not considering this a fruit, but the palu fruits are very, very tasty and very attractive fruits. We can, if you can develop that one, we can have market also. If you use this fruit that's like what is called palu, if you dry it, someday it is changed. We can store it for a long time. That's like grapes. So we call mudra grapes, dried grapes. We can use for a long time for food industry. Same manner we can use this one, but no one has touched it. This is we have to explore those. And like that, there are many things underutilized fruits. Therefore, but we have to conserve these. We need high studies, conservation, and also there are morphological studies, and also genetic studies. Everything we need to do. Yeah, here shows that this slide mainly because the different fruit crop here, few fruit crop mentioned, underutilized. Those fruits not available one time. Throughout the year, different times those are available. It is one of the advantage. A different time period, different fruit crop available. But the problem is there are some unacceptable characters. We have to overcome those things. For that, we need high concentration of studies on those crops. Yeah, today my objective is to talk with you about the Zizijim Kumini, Madang. I think everyone knows Madang. It's in the literature. It is, we are calling now, we are future crops. But actually those are not our future, it's our past crops. Past we have those food crops. Now we are talking about the future. This is available everywhere nowadays also, but less attention. When considered of the world, it is the region where we have Zizijim Kumini, this area. That means No one should do experiment on those. We ourselves have to do these fruit crop to improve to the level of commercialization, commercial level. But other countries not interested because these are not their crops. There are many advantages of many advantages of having Madam need more attention to study those cases. In our study, I try to identify the variation of those crops. Variation of this crop is important to understand. It is sort potentials of improvement. Potentials of improvement. I can go ahead. Yeah, these are the study areas that we collected visiting plants. Here is briefly I will go ahead. Many variations, especially leaf concern, region to region, high variations are there. Sometimes it's uniform, some areas, but especially case of Beticlo and upper area, these have particular change color and change size of the leaves. Here you can see the biggest leaves and smallest leaves. Such a variations are there, same species. That means we have potential to improve this fruit as a fruit crop in certain extent. It shows some potential. Okay. And we found that many variations of morphology of the leaf shapes is highly varied, region to region. Sometimes specific to region, and is specific to that particular tree. That need high studies for commercial use. Dendrograms was mainly two groups and 2-3 clusters we identified. Actually, cluster 2 is mainly belongs to Ampar and Beticlo. That means that region we have to have good attention to improve the fruit crops to find the new varieties. And flower variations we studied that flower structure and fruit structure, and those shows everything shows the high variation. I want to highlight these high variations shows that this crop can be improved to the commercial level by finding out new varieties. Okay. Right, mainly I want to highlight this high variation without taking much and stop. Therefore, future research should we go ahead with the focusing characterizations and genetic conservation of these underutilized crops. It is potential to improve quality fruits as well as resilience for future crops. Okay, just things I from that I'll stop because this time for your concentrate on this topic, but the lunch. Okay, thank you very much. I must acknowledge that our University Research Grant for giving me chance to do this work. Thank you very much.